difference here with a message to Louis Farrakhan and the followers of the Nation of Islam. I've been on air for 20 years. I admire a lot of the aspects of what your movement promotes. The fact that the Nation of Islam has fought against the CIA's weaponization of hip hop and the whole cop killing culture, that's something that's been amazing. Before I knew about vaccines being deadly and seeing the facts and the documents, the Nation of Islam newspaper was reporting on it 30 years ago and having scientists and people on and exposing it. The Nation of Islam has exposed the fact that HIV is a weaponized, race-specific bioweapon. I've talked to scientists who admit it. I remember hearing this from doctors back in the 90s, sitting around talking to my dad, who's a retired physician. That's the real big agenda. And when Louis Farrakhan talks about the depopulation agenda, the minimum sentencing agenda, all of this stuff, it's absolutely true. And I can say I support that. And I'm not here lecturing you. You're probably smarter than I am. So I'm not here telling you stuff you don't obviously know. The speech you gave a month ago, and I think we've seen what's happened since then, is very thinly veiled. You know, if they kill us, we go out and we kill them. And then now we've seen the different radio shows and the new Black Panther Party call for the same thing. The globalists, the same ones that are putting cancer viruses in the vaccines, the same ones that are putting fluoride in all our water, targeting everybody. You play along with the very rhetoric being put out by the White House, the Ford Foundation, George Soros, all the usual suspects. And that's where I really have a big concern, is that it just fits into that whole narrative, and I don't want to see you being played by that. I know there's bad departments. I know black people get discriminated against. I know there's things like driving while black in many areas. There's also things like being white in a downtown area and being attacked because you're white. The media always rubs the salt in about how you've been treated. I mean, I grew up in Dallas, Texas, for heaven's sakes. No, I don't want to exaggerate. Probably been in 75 fights with black people. Never started one of them. And I never was taught by my parents to whine and say I was racially attacked, even though it was, I'm going to kill your cracker ass for getting off at the bus stop at the wrong place. And then being 14, having to fight some 18-year-old man. But I want to say something to the racist blacks that attack me. You helped make me who I am. I'm one mean son of a bitch now because of it. But I'm not low enough. I'm not low enough. I'm not low enough. They play us off against each other. Above it is a scientific plan that you know about. I don't want to see black people played like a fiddle. You yourself are a musician, and you know that we're all getting played here, and I'm sick of it. Is it really the best message to tell people if they make us die, we make them die? Even if you figuratively understand what you're saying, an eye for an eye, it's going to be used now by operatives and others who are going to stir people up. It's going to be used now by operatives and others who are going to stir people up. It's going to be used now by operatives and others who are going to stir people up. I grew up in Dallas, Texas, in just the most insane situation. The point is that I want a real dialogue. I want to go after real racism. I want to bring humanity together. I know it's great to have racial politics and people like it, and I don't begrudge you doing that. People under attack stick together. You know what you're doing, and I'm trying to figure out exactly what your end game is.
The very people running Obama, the very people that staged the Gaddafi takeover, and the ones that are taking down Syria right now and killing all the Christians and non-radical Muslims and others. They're the very people trying to push this race war. Trying to push this race war.